Stay Chicago. We will see you tomorrow.
All right, everybody, we got to perk Caitlin up today. Okay, we got to perk her up. I don't know, is it the weather? Is it your early wake-ups? Kind
exactly
of
it's
combo of the two?
No, it's just my wake-ups.
Okay, she's doing an extra early shift this week, so we all got to send Caitlin some, I don't know,
You know what, thank you,
caffeinated
Anthony.
vibes.
That's very sweet.
I do have kind of a motivational story to share with you.
Let's hear
to
it.
kick it off, because
Okay.
I know that you're doing some, you've recently done some painting in your
Yes,
house. I had an amazing moment at Home Depot.
Tell me about it.
Okay, amazing moment at Home Depot. So my wife and I were kind of upgrading our basement. And there's this old green color that was on one of the old doors they left and on some of the trim on the windows, and we liked the color. So I unscrew a little plate that had some of this old green paint on it to take in and match it. You know, you go to the paint store with all the color samples. So I go to Home Depot, and I'm using this little plate, going around to all the greens to figure out which exact green, you know, is the perfect match. Lady who was working the paint counter comes up to me. She's like, I can just match that for you.
Yeah.
Is this breaking news to you at all?
No.
Have you done this before?
Anthony, come on. What
my
year
gosh.
is this? Anthony, what? You didn't know that they could do that? Yes. That's
I did not know they could do that.
If you have a paint like from a different company that you want to match, they can get close to it.
So I'm just
You're so
late to the
silly.
game. I'm opening the show with this
You
story,
silly
and you're like,
swan. Let me tell
Caitlin,
you-
I did not know this was possible. It blew my mind. She put it under the little scanner. 30 seconds later, she had a little printout, and then she's going up and matching all the things. And then she gives me a gallon of this paint, and it's gonna be
perfect.
amazing.
I'm so excited for you, Anthony.
When did you?
A long time ago. Old news. Old news. But I heard something this morning that might.
Did you guys know this?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm gonna come in. Hey, did you know there's power locks
Did
on
you
your
know that
car?
we can like fly in the sky, like in an airplane, Anthony? I'm telling you, we can do it.
So wait, what's the point of all the? I guess you're.
Okay,
I mean,
all right, but
the
listen.
little samples.
You know what
I
I
was
heard?
so tickled by the whole thing.
Anthony is 100%, 100% certain, 100% sure. 2 kids is enough for Anthony. I am one of those people who could have 152 kids, I think. So
Wow.
I've got 3 kids, and I'm on the fence all the time about should we have a 4th. My husband, not on the fence at all. We're good with 3. But I saw this video this morning, for those of you who are on the fence like me, and it kind of hit home. And she said, listen, you know the antidote where people say, what do you picture 10 years down the road at your Thanksgiving table?
Oh.
And she said, listen, I've already got 3 kids. I picture my 3 kids and all of our friends together. So if you're on the fence about having more kids, but you want a bunch of love and energy and people in your life down the road, when you're past the little baby stage, you can do that by inviting more people that aren't just your children into your house. And I thought that was a wonderful, you know, solution to the issue.
Let me add one thing. I
Yeah.
totally agree. Don't burn any bridges, so you have friends in 10 years.
Yeah, good point.
You want to have friends, you know.
Yeah.
I can count the number of friends I have on like one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
They're
know what I mean.
dwindling. I don't maintain them well enough. I'm horrible at keeping in touch.
What about like
Because Thanksgiving level friends, that's a big deal.
neighbors and stuff?
Yeah, no, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
So that's you
Neighbors.
know.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry.
That's a good-
I'm
that's
so
a
glad
good-
that you found your green paint, Anthony. I mean, really, from the bottom of my heart.
I mean, hold on. In my own defense, like, wouldn't it be fun to have switched brains with me for that one moment? Because to me, this was like this light. You guys, this is old. You're like not impressed at all. My mind was literally blown at this technology.
Was she excited that you were excited?
Maybe.
The
She was
employee?
absolutely lovely, by the way.
I mean, she was like a magician to you.
To me,
She
it was a
probably like,
magician.
I made this guy's day.
And she really did. And she put the little dab of the new product on top of the bucket so I could see how perfectly it matched.
Anthony's never bought paint in his life, I don't think.
Well, I've bought paint many times. I did not know they had a scanner
Wait.
that can match
but
any
you just
color.
mentioned them putting it on the top of the can. They do that every time.
Yeah, but it was really, for me to have the old 50-year-old plate and look at the exact fresh
Can you tell us the shade? Is it like an
It's like a
emerald?
billiards green. Billiards green was the closest shade that existed to it, and she was like, now this new color doesn't have a name. I'm like, yeah, it's my custom color. It was so
Did you
satisfying.
know if you find a color, you can like say, I want it a little bit lighter?
No.
And they'll adjust
Well,
it
now
for
I'll
you.
believe. Now I know
anything
that
is
anything is possible.
The world is your oyster with paint, Anthony.
So they've been doing that for years.
Yeah. Yeah, you can bring other items too, like if you want to match like your cabinetry or, you know.
This is a game changer for me. Do we have Michael Babcock on the line?
Ask Michael if he
I
knows
want to
about
know this too.
Hi,
Michael,
guys.
quick question.
We're
Did you
talking about
know
paint.
that you can? Did you know that you can bring any shade of any color into a Home Depot and they can match it there on the spot?
I did not know that.
Yes.
That is pretty cool.
I'm not alone.
There
I
you
was
go.
thinking, as you were talking, guys, I remember being a kid and working in a local hardware store, and they had a paint machine, and basically there was like a base paint that you would then add a dye to make whatever color the customer wanted, and you had to put it in this machine that spun it around like ferociously.
Yeah.
And I forgot to put, I was a kid,
Oh,
I wasn't
no.
paying attention, and I forgot to put the lid on or attach the lid, and I put the machine on, and then the paint went all over the entire store.
Did you get fired?
He did not fire me. He was a really nice man.
Oh.
I have never felt so bad. I've never
Oh, that
It
is
doesn't
a
come off either, you know? What a
no,
mess.
no, it does not come off.
that is like a scene
still
out of a
feel bad.
movie.
Yeah.
That is like
Decades later.
we all. I mean, you remember this decades.
The paint
It
machines
scarred me. I
are,
still feel so bad.
they're super cool. I'm with you. And then you watch it spin around.
Yeah.
And it just puts in the
Yeah.
exact like formula for your color. It's a
Yeah,
cool
it's
thing.
very
It's a cool thing.
You guys
fun
make me want to
experience.
paint now.
Hey, I feel like slightly because Michael, literally every last person here in the studio knew about the Home Depot thing, and I had just.
I don't feel bad. Yeah.
Now I feel
I'm
a little.
with you. I'm
Thank
with
you so much. All right, we got some news to get to here
Yeah.
out of your newsroom. Why don't we start with the Hillary Clinton? There was this deposition here.
Yeah.
There was some video that emerged. And this got pretty heated between Hillary and one of the people questioning her. Why don't you run us through the situation? What happened?
Yeah, there was a couple fiery moments at least during this testimony this week. And obviously the Epstein and these hearings and the files have gotten so much attention. There was so much interest. And I think, there was a feeling amongst many people that they want to see whoever had dealings with Jeffrey Epstein. They want to see these people held accountable. So anyway, Hillary Clinton is giving this deposition in front of the House Oversight Committee. Now, it got off to a really rough start because this was a closed hearing, or was supposed to be a closed hearing, in that nobody was going to see it or hear it. But somebody took a photograph. One of the Congress members took a photograph, and there was good reason to believe that it was Lauren Boebert. Mm-hmm. She takes a photograph and apparently then somehow sends it to Benny Johnson, who is a popular conservative, leaning commentator on social media. So Benny then tweets it out, and Hillary gets word of this as she's testifying. She says, hey, this picture is not supposed to exist. And she was angry. I mean, slams her hand down on the table. And she says, if this happened, I'm done. And you can hold me in contempt. I think the way she put it was from today until the cows come home.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not coming back. Now, ultimately, she spoke with some of the ranking members on the committee, and they were able to sort of ease her concerns. They apologized to her. They said, look, that was not supposed to have happened. For whatever it's worth, it happened before the testimony began, but still, in the faith of what we all had agreed to, there was not going to be photographs, and obviously a photograph was taken. So she was not happy, but she did return, and she did ultimately give hours and hours and hours of testimony. She had some spicy moments with some of the people asking questions. So, they got through it, but it got off to a bit of a shaky start.
Do we know if there's any repercussions for the woman who took the photo, or was that allowed? It was okay?
That's a great question. I think it's probably no. So the answer, I think, is no, that we don't know, at least nothing that we've heard, that there has been any sort of punishment. But I think you could probably make an argument that she didn't technically break the rules because they had not yet begun. But again, they had agreed that they weren't going to take photographs and then to take a photograph and post it on the internet. That, you know.
One thing that kind of occurred to me is that the Clintons both really pushed for these depositions to be public, out in the open, right? So was her complaint not that, hey, you know, you're leaking these images? Was her complaint more like, hey, we wanted it this way, you insisted on it this way, this is so half-baked? Was it one of those kind of things?
I think that's exactly right.
Okay.
Because and even when in the video you hear Hillary, and I think you hear her attorney too, they both say, we wanted these to be public and we wanted people to be able to watch, but you know, for whatever reason, the people in the committee, they didn't want that. So then to take a photograph, it's like, hey, we wanted this thing to be out in the open, so let's let it be out in the open. If you all want to get a photograph so bad, then let's have it out in the open like I wanted. So I think that's whether you're right, you're Republican, Democrat, you're independent, whatever you are, I think that kind of makes common sense. That's logical.
I would argue that Hillary is probably more upset that this is now going viral than any photo that was posted, because this we've been replaying.
You're probably right.
Yes, it's being plastered all over the place. Okay, so switching topics to Kelly Osbourne. Friends are concerned over her weight loss. What's going on?
Yeah, I think this is a situation where she is just still grieving the loss of her dad. Obviously, Ozzy Osbourne passed away. He was in his 70s. He passed away of a heart attack about 7 months ago. It was last summer. And she is having a difficult time from all accounts. And there she was recently. She looks very thin, very frail. And people who are, again, close to her and really care about her as a person are concerned. At the same time, I think there is a realization that the reason for this, it's not that it's a cosmetic issue or something. There's no eating disorder, but this is something that has been brought on by just stress and the sadness. I think that is really kind of taken over her life since her dad passed away. So, bottom line, people concerned about her. They want her to be healthy. They want her to be happy, and they want her to be be able to move on. She's got a son. She's got a husband, and this is taking its toll on her. Clearly.
Yeah, absolutely. It hasn't really been that long. Now, in terms of, is there any messages coming from the Osbourne family in response to some of the concern?
Yeah, I think they haven't really said too much about it publicly, but I think Kelly realized she got a lot of friends. She's been in this industry. Her dad was famous for how long? They had the reality show as kids, so they know a lot of people in this industry. They've got a lot of friends, and I think they've got a good support system there. It's just they had some families closer than others, and when you talk about the Osbournes, they just had an incredibly close and a tight-knit bond with one another. And I think you might say, okay, you knew Ozzy. One, he was sick. He was dealing with some really serious medical issues. He lived a hard life, a hard partying life, a hard charging life, and so you say, okay, this was something that was bound to happen, but that's her dad, and she's very upset about it, as you would expect.
Yeah.
She doesn't. Yeah, in these videos that you're showing too, she does look solemn, kind of sad. Have we heard from Mom?
Not that I'm aware of. I'm sure Mom's there, though, and keeping an eye on things. I know Mom is kind of dealing with a lot of the same feelings.
Sure.
That really was a punch in the gut to the family. Jack as well, their son, Kelly's brother. I think it's just very difficult. And he was so beloved. I think, even Ozzy fans miss him. And cool, he got to play just a couple of weeks before he died in Birmingham, just like a block or so from where he actually created Black Sabbath decades and decades ago. So his fans got to say goodbye, which was pretty cool, but the family's still very upset.
Well, sad situation. Sending good vibes to the Osbourne family as they grieve the late Ozzy Osbourne. Michael Babcock, always good to check in with you. Thank you so much.
I'm going to go to Home Depot now.
Yes.
Exactly. There's a Home Depot across the street.
Yeah. Don't forget to remind the worker to put the lid on the pan.
I know.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I forget your name, but I'm sorry, hardware store owner.
Yeah, exactly.
Bye,
all right.
Too funny.
Thanks, Michael. Yeah, that is kind of a scene out of a movie. I would never. That'd be an instant core memory if I'm Michael Babcock.
Yeah.
Do you ever have any big mishaps at an early job where you messed up?
Probably. Oh, probably. I remember at my first job on TV, I couldn't think of the word rainbow.
Oh.
Yeah. I was standing in front of like a picture, and I was like, look at this beautiful.
And it was just a brain fade.
Yeah.
Did you hear about it from any viewers?
I can't remember. I think it was just kind of, we laughed it off.
Okay.
But I can't really remember. But it was straight out of college, so I was very nervous. And I think that just added to the whole situation. What about you? Anything crazy?
Just that happened crazy. Not really. I mean, my first job ever, I was the OJ boy at a restaurant. Okay, it was like a breakfast diner type place.
OJ boy.
OJ boy. It was a Sundays only.
You were making
position.
the OJ.
I was making it, but I was also carrying it around on a tray. And the role was you go around from table to table and you say, "Excuse me, would you care for a nice fresh squeezed glass of orange juice?"
That'll be $45.
And they'd be like, "Oh, well, yes." And then take it, and I go around, and then at the end when they got the bill, it's like, it was expensive. Fresh squeeze is expensive, but like
all orange juice is expensive.
when they don't I felt shady in the role because that was the job description. Then they would get billed for it later, so I felt like I was like
tricking them.
Exactly. And so anyway, I quit mid-shift. In my fourth day, because I just didn't feel right about it.
Really?
Yeah, I just didn't feel right. It just felt like a scam to me.
It is a scam. Orange juice is a scam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know, that wouldn't be a mishap. I didn't drop anything, but I did walk out mid-shift.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I was a barista. I don't think I had any big issues with that job. Lifeguarding, that was
Oh man, that would be the highest stress. Didn't you have a crazy story where you got tested, right?
Yeah, so they have this testing program, which it's a great program where you know, the way that they teach these lifeguards, and I still see it happening today when I go to like pools and stuff. If you see the lifeguards scanning with their head, they're really like watching the whole pool. Anyways, they would test you with these dummies. They called it Timmy.
Oh my God.
And in the middle of a shift, dead of summer, pool is packed. Okay, this is a wave pool too. People have tubes, hard to see. One of the lifeguards would go out on a tube while you're looking at the water and have the Timmy doll under the tube. And so they'd be kicking out there to the deep end, drop the Timmy doll in the middle of the pool, and you had, I think, like 5 seconds to see it. Then you had to blow your whistle and jump in after it. But one summer day, they put the Timmy doll on like one of the blue lines on the bottom of the pool in the shade. You couldn't see it. So the girl that was before me missed the Timmy doll, and they left it there on purpose. And then I missed the Timmy doll. Like, you couldn't see it.
Did you get disciplined for that?
Big discipline, yeah. They walked you around the park, talked to you, and then made you write a letter to Timmy's parents explaining to them why we let their child die.
So it was like a mock letter to a mock victim, but just to get
do that. Isn't that wild?
It is wild, and at the same time, it's like that's one of those situations you can't be too careful. But I just can't imagine the stress level of, I mean, not being able to take a mental break. I mean, not even for a second. There's no mental breaks in that job.
No.
So how long were your shifts? Because you can't be expected to.
Here's the thing. There were different spots that you would go. So the pool was definitely the most stressful. But then you stay there for 15 minutes. Then you rotate to maybe the bottom of the slide. Then you're there for 15 minutes grabbing tubes. Then you go to the kiddie pool.
Right. So the Timmy stage, that's only like 15-minute chunks.
And it's once a month. You don't know when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It was very stressful.
Yeah.
But looking back, I mean, I don't know if that's really, by the book, right? Making these college students write these letters. And believe me, I took the job seriously. We all did. But like, that's kind of like a psychological.
It's very stressful. I mean, I could do it for 15 minutes, but.
It's very stressful.
If it was like a 4-hour shift of like.
Oh, the shift was,
It would, I mean, but you said at least you get to move around.
Yeah.
I mean, that's important.
Well, I quit that job and became a barista. And that's why it was too stressful. It was fun because you're with all your friends. It's the summertime. Right. You get to just, go to the park before everybody's there. But you're in charge of all of these people. It's
lives on the line.
job.
And we have covered. This was last summer, I think.
Of lifeguards?
No, a story where a lifeguard turned away or was on shift, and a child drowned, and that lifeguard faced legal action. And I believe he was acquitted. But it was one of those things where it probably, completely upended his life. Even, the guilt factor. I'm fuzzy on the details right now, but that did happen. A lifeguard did get criminally prosecuted. for negligence. Like resulting in a
I mean,
death.
where were the parents is my question.
Yeah.
Who was in charge of the child is my question. That was one frustrating thing as a lifeguard was you would see kids going out into the pool, clearly couldn't swim, and
Yeah.
you're just like watching this child, like, where are your
Where are your
parents
folks?
right now?
Right.
Now, I know kids can slip through your fingers. My kids slip through my fingers all the time, but that's why when we go to a pool or like somewhere where there is water, immediately before we even get into the premises, a life jacket is on and it's snapped.
Yeah. One other, this is a hack that I don't know if my dad Googled it and found this, but he does it every time because kids can disappear like that.
Absolutely.
In a crowded space like
Yes.
that. And it doesn't mean you're a bad parent, it just happens.
No.
He makes everyone wear, all the cousins, he makes them wear adventure shirts,
Yes.
which are these bright neon
Fabulous.
t-shirts.
I love that.
To places like, you know, a trampoline park or a pool and just bright. So it's
Yes.
like, hey, you were not out of my sight.
I mean, literally, Anthony, I
Yeah.
went to the park the other day with all three of my kids, and now my 1-year-old, almost 2, is big enough to start, you know, wanting to play. So I have 3 kids in this park.
a
There's a
lot.
ton
You
of
can't-
kids. Oh, I'm just constantly
You
like
can't-
scanning,
yeah.
trying to find my children. So I get it.
No.
I get it.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. I am so excited to welcome our next guest and his mother. He's a 6-year-old. He lives with a cochlear implant. And he just gave a presentation to his fellow classmates about
that.
this. And we get to hear from 6-year-old Marty Mickelsons when we come back. And this is all in honor of World Hearing Day. Stay with us. As well.
10:23. If you didn't know, today is World Hearing Day, and to mark the occasion, we are joined by 2 special guests: 6-year-old Marty Mickelsons. He turned 6 in December, and his mom Maria, because we have to talk about a very special and important discussion. We are discussing cochlear implants, and if you've never heard of them, what they are, and also how little Marty here gave a presentation to his kindergarten class. He was so brave to stand up in front of his new schoolmates and tell them all about his implant. So before we talk about that special day, Mom, can we talk about how you knew the first inclination that there was maybe something off with hearing with Marty?
Sure. At about 18 months, Marty didn't have any words yet. We weren't sure if he was always hearing us, but it was sort of hard to tell.
Yeah.
For us as parents. We went to his pediatrician and they referred us to Lurie Children's Hospital for a hearing screening right off the bat. And sure enough, that's how we discovered Marty had moderate severe hearing loss in both ears. At age 2, he was outfitted for hearing aids, and then at 4.5, he had surgery at Lurie with Dr. Nancy Young to implant a cochlear implant. And with the right support and resources, he's really off to the races. He's doing great in kindergarten.
What was the difference between the standard hearing aid and then when you moved to the cochlear implant? And will you talk about that decision?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, a hearing aid is sort of like a speaker. It amplifies sounds. It makes things louder. A cochlear implant is a little bit different. It sort of creates a new instrument. It bypasses the ear and communicates with the hearing nerve, sends information to the brain that the brain learns to turn into sound. So the human body is pretty cool, and so is technology, and we learned that with cochlear implants. So he still wears one hearing aid and a cochlear implant on the other side. His cochlear implant has really given him access to sound that he didn't have before. He can hear things like the wind, birds, teachers' voices, friends' voices on the playground. He started to really like listening to music, which has been fun to watch him discover sort of all my old favorites and some of the new greats too.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so let's talk to you, Marty. You got to start kindergarten this year, and one of the first things you did was talk to your classmates about your cochlear implant. What was that like?
It was good.
Was it good? So what did you do? Did you stand in front of the class and kind of introduce yourself, or what did you say?
I stand in front of the class and I had something, my teacher always wears something called a microphone, and if she's talking to someone else and my teacher doesn't want to hear me, like if she doesn't want me to hear her, then she would mute it and she would wear it. And I wear something called boots. So on this one, I have to open this and push it on. For this one, I have to twist the battery off and twist the boot on and twist the battery back on.
Oh, okay.
What is it like, what was the difference between when you had just this one on and then when you got that one on? Could you hear a lot better?
Yeah.
What's been your favorite part about being able to hear more things? Like your mom mentioned, you can hear the wind now and the birds. What surprised you the most? Maybe a favorite TV show or some music?
Is there music you like to listen to?
Sometimes.
That's cool. My
Marty,
kids like music
when
too.
When you spoke to your classmates, what did you tell them about your hearing?
Well, I told them stuff about it, and
Mom, were you involved in the presentation as
Yes,
well?
Dad and I were both there, and
Oh,
it was
you were.
so much fun to watch Marty stand up in front of his class and describe his hearing loss. As he described, technology in the classroom has been really helpful. His
Yeah.
teacher wears a microphone that streams directly into his ears. And so all of his classmates were able to practice saying their favorite ice cream flavor into the microphone just to give them a little taste of sort of some of the equipment that Marty uses every day at school that's really helpful.
And she's able to pot that mic down if she's is that what he was saying?
Exactly right.
Okay,
Exactly
so he doesn't
right.
get
Yes.
scolded unnecessarily or...
Exactly right.
Can you talk to the other parents that are watching right now? Maybe someone's watching who says, I wonder if my child is having difficulty hearing, what they should be looking out for. You mentioned not speaking by the age of 18 months or saying any words. And then also maybe the worry, I could imagine as mom, anxiety, going through this experience, any words of advice or comfort for other parents?
You know it as a parent, right? With children, everything is sort of worrisome at
It's your
first.
whole world.
It's your whole world. And in the beginning, you know, my husband and I didn't know anyone else with hearing loss. And we certainly didn't have an image of someone with hearing loss who could speak and listen as well as Marty can now. So it was a learning curve for us for sure. But trust your gut. That's my advice to parents. If you're worried about speech development or you even have an inclination that something may be off with hearing, go to your pediatrician, go for a hearing screen. Early intervention is so important and has made a world of difference for Marty. And it's important to remember that, you know, when communities and classrooms and doctors all work together, kids with hearing loss don't just keep up, they really thrive.
So, because I'm guessing that initial hearing, because remember doing the hearing screen right when they're born? Like,
Yeah.
did things look normal at that point? And then you said he suffered slight hearing loss or significant as the months went on.
Yeah, that part was a little different for us. Initially, his newborn screen in the hospital, he failed the initial hearing test. The doctor said, don't worry, there can frequently be fluid in the ears. It may not mean anything.
Yeah.
Come back in a month and we'll try it again. So we did. When we came back in a month for a repeat hearing screen, Marty passed. So it's a little bit of a head scratcher as to exactly when or how the hearing loss started. But we do know that it's progressed a little bit since his initial diagnosis at age 2. And that's partially why he was a candidate for a cochlear implant on one side. And someday he may be a candidate for an implant on the other side as well. But we continue to monitor that with our audiologist at Lurie Children's Hospital every 6 months.
Oh, that's great. Is there a community of people that you have access to, maybe on social media or a certain website, to kind of share experiences?
Absolutely. So Marty's preschool has been instrumental community for us as a family. Marty attended a deaf and hard of hearing preschool located in Wooddale, Illinois, called Child's Voice. And it's unique because it's a listening and spoken language program. It's not an ASL program. And the other parents, the educators there, have been extremely instrumental and helpful for us in building a community and helping us learn and sort of, stay connected to others who are dealing with some of the same things that we are. And we have Dr. Nancy Young at Lurie for referring us to Child's Voice in the first place. She's the one who mentioned that at an early visit. And that resource has made a world of difference for us.
Oh, good.
You mentioned that early detection here is key. I have a really, really good friend. I was talking to you about this before we went on. He started losing his hearing basically at the end of college, through his 20s, and by the time he was into his 30s, it was completely gone. He has this thing called neurofibromatosis, and he got a cochlear implant. He basically had to learn, he completely had to relearn how to hear, and he wrote a really good book about it. I want to plug it right now. It's called Soundtrack of Silence.
Okay.
And he was able to teach himself like how to hear again using music, all his old favorite songs. It was really cool. I'll hook you up with a copy of that.
I would love that.
But he had to relearn because he was an adult when this stuff happened. How skilled, like, he can distinguish between the wind and, his child's voice. So can you kind of run us through how key it is to get at this problem early? Yeah,
especially when language is developing, right? It's such an important time to get sort of as much access to sound and language as possible in your child's orbit, right, to develop those early speech and language skills. Because it does get harder, I think, as you get older. And you make a good point. A common misconception is that when you get fitted for a cochlear implant, you just turn it on and you can hear like that. But it's really not that simple. It takes a lot of therapy and practice to really train your brain to recognize the new input as sound. And so it sounds kind of funny when we talk about learning to listen, but it really is a skill that kids with hearing loss have to learn.
What has
I
was just going to say, what has surprised you the most about this whole experience?
How incredible Marty's speech and language is now.
Yeah.
Early on, that was a big concern as parents. We wanted to make sure he had access to sound to enable him to communicate more freely and connect more deeply and really experience life. And we're thrilled that now he's learning to read, and to watch him sounding out words and spelling on his own is super exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. So these two devices right now are kind of working in tandem together.
That's exactly right.
Got it. And then at what point will you make the call whether to go with the cochlear implant on both ears?
Well, much to Marty's chagrin, it won't be a fashion decision. It will probably be a decision that we make with his audiologist at Lurie Children's Hospital. Dr. Katie is really neat because not only is she really talented and experienced, but she's a grown-up who also wears one hearing aid and one cochlear implant. So it's a really cool example for Marty. And she gives great advice to me as well. But we'll make a decision based on sort of the level of his hearing loss at that time, and whether he still has sufficient access to sound with his hearing aid, or whether we need some more muscles, and that would be adding another cochlear implant.
It's World Hearing Day, so hey, Marty, really quick, do you have any favorite sounds that you like to listen to?
What about Huntrix?
Huntrix?
What's Huntrix?
It's a movie, and there's 3 singers.
Is that K-pop Demon Hunters?
There's 3 singers?
My daughters love that too. Do you like the song Golden?
Oh yeah, that's a big favorite of ours.
Or Soda Pop? My little soda pop. They've got some such good music in these kids' shows these days.
They do.
That's an awesome choice.
This is great. Maria, okay, it being World Hearing Day, is there any other messages that you would love for other parents who maybe catch this clip to see or hear?
Thank you. World Hearing Day. It's important to remember that hearing impacts every aspect of a child's life, from their first words at home to their success in the classroom, their relationships with friends, their confidence. And when we work together with across communities and in the classroom and in the medical field, the sky's the limit as far as the potential for kids with hearing loss like Marty.
I love that.
Thank you
two
both.
Have the best day. Go get some lunch, maybe some ice cream.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah, very, very much well deserved. And I understand you get to take the train as well today as well. You got to skip school for the morning.
Special Mommy Sunday.
I think that should be a World Hearing Day tradition.
Yeah,
I like it. Train ride and some lunch. Thank you both for coming in. We really appreciate it. We got Maria and Marty Mickelsons. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to go over some trending topics, including, this is the most morbid music, we're talking about music, playlist ever. This is what is going to go into your Spotify urn. There's a Spotify urn that is, yes, it's on the market, and we're going to talk all about that and some other trending stories when we come back.
On Fox.
10:38 just about. Have you heard of liquid death?
I have heard of it, and I have had one.
What do you think?
Is it different than water? Because I had it at a concert. And that's
Literally it tastes like water. I've had it one time too.
Is it just water, or is there vitamins in it or something?
I think it's just water. I could be wrong. But I've tried it before too, and the taste just tastes like water.
Is liquid death just water, or is it's just water?
There's no added enhancements. Yeah, it's just a cool water. Anyways, the company that is Liquid Death, they're teaming up with Spotify to make an urn. So you need a good playlist in the afterlife. This is strange. All right, what's going on here?
There we go.
Spotify teamed up with Liquid Death for its new invention, the Eternal Playlist Urn. Yeah, you can party in the afterlife with this special vessel for your ashes. It comes with a Bluetooth speaker on the outside. So come on.
I love
it. You can stream your favorite tunes forever or until the batteries run out. You can make your own playlist, so you can make sure your remains are happy with what's being played. It's available online for $495. Only 150 of them were made, so you might be surprised to hear they haven't sold out yet. If you want one, now's your chance.
They're still available. Okay, so these things are not exactly flying off the shelves.
Okay.
I mean, I think it's a fun kind of but $495. Hey, but you can make 4 interest-free payments of $44.68 a month. Oh, now it's sold out.
Oh, it's sold out now.
Now it's sold out. Okay, so it was. I mean, yeah.
I don't agree with. I don't.
You don't.
think it's
This
cool.
gives you the icky feeling.
It's just
How come?
silly. I just think it's silly. Because who's actually okay? So the whole twist here is that you're supposed to purchase it for yourself.
Oh.
So are you buying this urn?
So you don't want to buy this thing for your aging
This urn, not
mother-in-law?
Yeah, right. Like, what are we even talking about? That looks like a. What is that called when you? Oh, an essential oil burner.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I mean, it begs the question, Caitlin, and I already think I know one of your answers to this.
What do I want to do when I die?
No. What do you want on your eternal playlist?
Oh.
And I know one song you want. It's by the Pentatonics.
Oh.
Is that the Little Drummer Boy?
Sure.
Is that? Did I get the group right?
Yeah, that's right. That's
Okay.
right.
Any other albums that would
Remember
be?
yesterday when we were supposed to talk to Gabby and we got interrupted?
Yeah.
Just throw all my kids' favorite TV shows, theme songs on it.
You would put those on there. Oh, to remind you of.
True. In the Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
That's one of my kids' favorites.
So you would put on all your kids' favorite songs into your eternal.
Blippi. Yeah, absolutely.
So much to learn about. Gonna make you want to
Solid.
shout.
Blippi. Bluey. Oh.
So your favorite music right now is like the kid.
Yeah, what about you? Okay. All
there
right,
would
this is a cool guy. What do you pick?
I'm not very cool, but
Actually,
let's
he
see.
is cool. He can play the piano.
Oh, I can play the piano. I would have a lot of piano
I bet
music.
you
That's for
would.
sure. I'd have like Elton John on there, Billy Joel, Queen.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'd have the Killers on there. I'd have Pink Floyd, Radiohead. I'd have all the classical composers on there.
That's great.
Beethoven, Bach,
for
Mozart, Brahms.
We're going two
Chopin.
different vibes.
Yeah, so I'd have because Spotify, you can just keep going and keep going. These inventions that have been coming out about like the afterlife. Have you heard of the one where it's basically I don't think they're legal yet in the U.S.
Okay.
It's like a big old drum, and it's got a bulb for a tree.
Oh, yeah.
And you put the body
and it eats
in,
your body, yeah.
and it
For sure.
yeah, you've heard of that.
Yeah.
So what
How
are
would
your
you feel
thoughts on
about
that? I wouldn't. Okay, I'm open to it, but here's my only qualm with it.
Gross.
Is if the tree died.
Sure.
Like later, like what if the tree
Tornado hits
grew?
it.
Yeah, or a tornado hit. Then it would be pretty sad.
Yeah.
But I think I'm not against any of that. I do think death is a part of life, and it's something to acknowledge and not like. I know it's a morbid thing, but
is.
I don't think it should be.
Do you want to be a tree, Anthony?
This is really interesting. We're having this conversation because Maggie last week. I don't know what brought this up. Nothing bad's happening.
Your
But
life
she was
insurance
like, "Do you
policy.
know what I want to have done?" And I was
Right.
like, you know what? I don't know if we formally talked about
Yeah.
this. So she like went through her things like, this is what I want and this is what I don't want.
You know what's bizarre? Why does this keep happening? Literally this morning, I heard this video on Instagram, and it was this woman describing what she wants to happen to her if she goes to the hospital. Like if she's unconscious,
Yeah.
she's in the hospital.
Yeah.
Like this full list of items, like checklist, don't do this, do this, don't do this, do this. And I sent it to Grady. I was like, these all sound pretty good. I didn't really know what any of it meant. But I literally
Like I
sent
don't
that
want to be
to
revived
Grady.
or
Exactly
or
right.
organ donor
Yes,
and
all of it. Like,
Yeah.
I want this hooked up. I don't want this hooked up. I literally sent that this morning.
We should probably do a segment at some point on the living will. Have you guys done that yet?
No.
We have not either.
Okay.
And it's one of those things, it's like, you should do it.
Yeah.
You should do it. And I know we should, there's websites, we should probably put
We
that
do have
on
a
the
life
list.
insurance policy, though, on both.
Yeah. The living will goes beyond. It's like, you know.
You can have my tennis shoes, and the other, the kids get my
It's the
suit coat.
Papa shot that's in the basement right now. Who's that go to? All right, here's another trender. Disney's Rock and Roll roller coaster is no longer starring Aerosmith. This is getting a lot of buzz online. I guess there's a lot of loyalty. I mean, there's sentimental attachment to roller coasters. I have such sentimental attachment to some of the coasters up in Gurnee, okay, that I've been riding since I was a kid. The Demon, the Eagle, longtime Six Flags goers will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But, okay, so Disney's Rock and Roll Coaster, it was Aerosmith themed for
Yeah.
27 years. And its last day was 2 days ago. So they got rid of all the Aerosmith references. And apparently, Disney's going to be revamping this ride. If you guys go down to Disney in Florida, it will now feature the Muppets, which recently lost their designated section of the park, Hollywood Studios. That went away, and so they're kind of rebranding this, and it'll be up and running by this summer. And in an Instagram post that was just shared a couple weeks ago, Aerosmith rocker Tom Hamilton was seen visiting Walt Disney World in Florida to ride the rock and roll coaster starring Aerosmith one last time before it made its final lap. So into the sunset with that, and in with the Muppets. Caitlin, have you been to Disney World? I can't remember.
Oh, when I was a kid.
When you were a kid? Okay.
But why? Because they had to move the Muppets from a different spot in the
They've done
park?
this at Six Flags too. There was a whole Looney Tunes land that's been kind of rebranded. A couple of the coasters have been.
But do people even watch the Muppets anymore? Is it still a thing? Because
Jake
okay.
Hamilton's here. Yes,
I heard
it's a
it, yes.
thing. That movie with Jason Segel was really good. I thought that was a good, solid Muppets movie. That's, in the last 10, 15 years. Caitlin, you're going to like this next trender?
Can't wait.
It has to do with your favorite place. You call it Starbucks.
Oh, yeah, Starbucks.
I call it, it was called Buc-ee's to some people early on when Starbucks first.
What? Wait, like
These girls in my grade.
Station?
These girls in my
Buc-ee's?
high school, they'd be like, do you want to go to Buc-ee's?
Buc-ee's? No. I think you're getting confused.
No, I'm not.
Buc-ee's is like a thing now.
I couldn't make anything like that up.
Yes, you could.
This is when
Buc-ee's is a thing. It's a thing now.
It is.
Buc-ee's is.
Buc-ee's.
It's a gas station.
Oh.
Like the creature.
That's what they called it when the first Starbucks went in our neighborhood. This is back in the 90s.
They called it
Buc-ee's.
Buc-ee's?
Isn't that so bad?
All right.
So bad.
Okay, then let me do this story then. It's about Starbucks.
Yeah.
So, they've got a new drink. Wait, yeah. Ube coconut macchiato, iced lavender cream matcha, which I heard about this one today. Emma behind, yeah, she told me about this lavender
Mia,
matcha.
what kind of matcha did you get today?
Oh, the chai.
She tried it and she gave it a big thumbs up.
Iced
right?
lavender cream chai. That sounds delicious.
She tried.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah, the purple ones. Toasted coconut cream cold brew. Ooh, that sounds good. Lavender cream frappuccino blended beverage. By the way, it's called a dirty chai or a dirty matcha.
Nice.
If you throw in some espresso.
Nice.
There's also a new frog cake pop.
There it is.
Why are we doing a frog?
Are your kids obsessed with cake pops
yes.
like mine?
Oh,
Oh
yes.
my gosh, I can use one of those cake pops to bribe Jero to do anything.
Let's go to Target,
He ate,
and then immediately it's like, oh, like cake pops?
Like a whole pile of carrots the other day because I was like,
A cake pop. Hey, over here. So those are made from vanilla cake mixed with buttercream and dipped in green chocolate icing. Why are we doing a frog? Why are we doing a frog,
that's
Starbucks?
an interesting question.
I don't understand.
Maybe it has to do with ube. Did you talk about
I mean,
what
it's
ube is?
cute, I gotta say.
Yam.
It's a what?
A yam. Ube coconut macchiato.
Well, make it a yam then.
Limited time only. Caitlin, do you get in on this limited
What?
time only stuff when you go to Starbucks?
Sure.
Or do you have your go-to that you're just all year round you're doing it? Because I see you with some Starbucks from time to time.
Yeah, lattes are good at Starbucks. You know what I like is the banana cream on top, the banana protein top cream. What is it called?
Don't know.
Topper. But no, I'm more of a Dunkin' coffee girl.
Okay.
I tried to get the Starbucks iced coffee the other day, and I didn't really like it.
No.
But I do like their lattes a lot.
Well, there you
And
go.
the
Spring menu.
Pistachio chocolate bread. Pistachio chocolate bread. I think. That's
Oh,
what
you
it's
had that
called.
yesterday.
You had it yesterday.
Looked
That's
good.
delicious.
It
That
looked
was my
good.
second go.
All right, so there we go. I'm just excited. The spring menu. Like I get to say spring menu.
So this is
Spring.
part of the spring menu.
Yeah.
So the lavender stuff is
March
spring.
1, meteorological spring is here. Is that right? On
Yeah.
March 1st?
Yeah, but it's not the first.
Well, yeah, I mean, but
already
we're
in there.
past it. Yeah, we're
Mhm.
2 days
We're
into
cruising. We're
meteorological
cruising in
spring.
it's already spring.
This is
spring
cool.
has sprung.
From time to time, one of our coworkers tends to go viral for all the right reasons. I'm talking about Jake Hamilton, everybody, and he has gone viral
Talk
for
to
a
my
recent
boyfriend.
interview he did with your
My
boyfriend.
boyfriend.
Talking about Ryan Gosling here. The
Yeah.
why is coming up. Why did this particular conversation go viral? Jake is going to join us here right on set to explain how this all unfolded. Stick around.
Because I'll always fight for you.
10:51. If you haven't seen it across your headlines on your phone this morning, our very own Jakey Hamilton is going viral.
Luckily in a good way. I mean,
Again.
in this industry, we often say when you wake up and you have a million notifications on your phone, usually your first reaction is, oh no, what happened?
I know.
What did I say? What got misinterpreted? But no, it all worked out really well. It's been a lot of fun these last 36 hours or so. Yeah, we had a conversation with friend of the show, Ryan Gosling. I often describe him as Caitlin Cody's boyfriend because he came in studio and was nice to everyone, but very much loved Caitlin Cody. One of my favorite people to talk with. We've had some great interviews with him over, in the years past. With him and Emily Blunt, he and I trade spaces. And for Barbie, he gave me a bunch of Barbie swag in the middle. It was all pink in the middle of the interview. But this one might top it because, we were having a hard time, scheduling this interview. I didn't have time to leave, Good Day Chicago to go out to L.A. because I had a trip to Vegas planned for my mom and for my sister. It was their Christmas present, taking them to the Sphere. And it just so happened, they said, well, this is the time we can give you Ryan. And it happened to fall on the day that we were going to the Grand Canyon. So we timed it out. So I say we can get to the Grand Canyon. We can get back. I can be in the hotel set up, and then we can shoot the interview in Vegas.
Full Wi-Fi.
Yeah, full Wi-Fi, hair, makeup, good lighting, the whole jazz. Yeah. And then all of a sudden on the drive back from the Grand Canyon, we just heard a loud and it was a blown tire. And I just remember thinking, well, the interview's not going to happen. We're stuck here for the next couple of hours, but well, we made it happen.
Back from a tour of the Grand Canyon to do this interview, and we broke down on the side of the road.
No!
And I am on the side of the road, surrounded by Rocky's family.
There's like 4 cars on a trailer just went by behind you. Just get one of those.
Obviously, I would do anything not to miss an interview with you, man. So I appreciate you still taking the time.
And you look like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible, like the one where he's climbing. Yes.
Listen, man, I hope you know that this is not what I wanted for our interview, man, but I appreciate you taking the time.
This is amazing. And this is not, I don't want you to be stranded, but this is the production value on this is
weirdly kind of works for this movie, man.
Do you technically need to have a permit to shoot there?
I don't know if we can pan over. Like that's literally that's my bus over there full of people, and we're broken.
Oh,
down
it's
on
a
the
bus.
So we're here, but I did not want to miss this interview, man. So I appreciate you taking the time.
Did you see the Grand Canyon?
Well, I saw the Grand Canyon. It was almost as beautiful as Project Hail Mary.
Oh, wow. See,
like that?
and now you're back at work.
I'd love to know, even though there are 3 different films in space, how are the acting experiences different for you?
Do you have help on the way? Hold on. Let's just first things first. Do you have water?
We have water. We do have water.
Are you staying hydrated?
We are staying hydrated in the middle of the desert. Yes. And
You're
honestly,
sure? And you're sure you have enough water for everyone? Because that could get ugly.
Listen, I said I've got water.
That's what I was going to say. Squirrel away a little. Start squirreling.
And hair product.
ABS, man. Always be squirreling in a situation
Always be
like
swirling. That's the Hamilton family motto, Ryan Gosling. Listen, I've got water and I've got hair product. I'm good to go. And you know the best part of this, my girlfriend is holding the phone.
Can she turn it around, please?
Babe,
Hi.
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 this is Iris.
Hi, Iris.
On the phone.
This is
Hi.
Ryan.
You're MVP, Iris.
I know, this is fun.
That was a good question that I asked, by the way.
It was a great question. Sorry. Thank you, Iris, for doing this.
Yeah, no problem.
Love that. I'll cut you loose on this, Ryan Gosling. There's a beautiful quote in the film, find someone to be brave for. In your life, who do you feel like you have to be brave for?
Well, I mean, my kids, obviously, that's like, and you.
I'm on the side of the road for you, Ryan.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, I'm going to say my kids first. Sorry.
And then?
Sorry, not sorry. And then you. And then I'll be brave for you. I mean, I am worried about your hydration. Do you have you got a power bar?
We've got, what do we got? We've got about half a bag of gummy worms.
Okay.
And a can-do attitude, much like Grace does in the film. Here's what I'll tell you. If you don't see me on your next junket or maybe even Project Hail Mary 2.
I'll find you and Tom Cruise climbing a mountain somewhere.
But hey, man, I hope that this was one of the more memorable interviews that you had on this press tour.
Absolutely. And just special thanks to Iris.
You're welcome.
All right, buddy. We love you. Thank you for rolling with this, man. This wasn't how I wanted this to be, but I appreciate you being a good sport.
Do you guys have a blanket if it gets cold?
We have each other, and we have memories of this moment.
Okay.
And that'll keep us warm for a lifetime.
I definitely want to hear that you got out of this.
I will reach out to the studio and let you know.
Okay, let us know.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, love you, buddy.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, Jake.
Well, they genuinely did want to know if we made it out. And the reason I say that is because his wife, Eva Mendez, posted something on Instagram yesterday saying, at Jake's Takes, can you let me know if you and Iris made it out of the desert? So his wife, Eva Mendez, shared it. And we've had a lot of fun with it. Reaction's been really nice. It got picked up, by a lot of outlets, Entertainment Weekly and USA Today and everything. And reactions have been really nice. Anytime you have something go viral, there's always going to be people that come out and say, I was a little afraid that it was a little too much about me and not enough about the movie.
Right.
Bringing it back.
That was kind of the battle.
I felt
right?
you trying to transition him to talk about the movie, and he kept hammering. That was so funny.
I got to be honest. That video works, I think, for 2 reasons. One, I think it's him. I think there are a lot of actors that wouldn't have rolled with it the way that he did. I do think, he's a Canadian guy. I think he genuinely cares about people.
Yeah.
And I think he really ran with it. There are a lot of actors in my head who shall remain nameless that I'm pretty sure I would have annoyed them by doing that in that scenario. And then, like Iris being there and recording the, I was going to prop it up against a phone and she was the person that was like, no, hold on, I can shoot this for you. I can make it look good. We can make the shot look good. My mom and my sister wrangling people and kind of making sure the people on the bus, weren't coming over.
You're like, he's talking
Honestly,
to Ryan Gosling.
I think it works because it's just so authentic between you guys. And it was very much in the moment. Yeah, it was just.
You did good with your comeback.
Thank you.
With your, you were funny.
Well, I gotta be honest. It played. The fact that his new movie, Project Hail Mary, which comes out later in March, and we'll talk about it as we get closer to it. It's about a guy stuck who needs to be saved.
Nuh-uh.
It could.
Wait, did you guys set this up on purpose?
You know what's so funny is that I've had a lot of people reach out and be like, "This is a marketing thing."
Yeah,
I'm like, "You're right." It's like we totally blew out a tire and stranded all those people on the side of the road just for and it's just one of those crazy things. A majority of the drive from Vegas to the Grand Canyon has no cell signal whatsoever. There are long stretches where it would have been dangerous to get off the bus. It was one of those weird things where everything happened to happen for a reason, and everything fell into place. And I'll tell you, when it was over, I kind of, I was a little mad at myself. I was like, oh man, like I made that too much about myself. And this is no joke. Iris looked and said, you realize that's going to go viral, right? And I went, no, it's not going to. Like, we'll post it and a couple of people
So
will
it
like
worked out. He's probably so glad
it all worked out, and we were able to get word back to him that I'm alive, and we had a lot
Now
of
you guys
Really,
set up a double
very,
date.
very well
Exactly
done.
right.
Him and
Yeah.
Eva.
Yeah.
That is
Iris.
that was
Lovely
remarkable.
story,
I
Jake.
loved it.
Thank you, guys.
Jake,
I
thanks
appreciate
for
it.
sharing.
Of course,
Appreciate
man.
it. We got another hour of Chicago Now coming up in just seconds. Stay with us.
To Chicago.
Welcome back to the 11 o'clock hour of Chicago Now as we roll into 11:02 on this. What's today? Tuesday? Girl, I can't keep the days together. I was going to say hump day. I was getting excited.
We were talking about this morning. It feels like Tuesday is kind of the worst day of the week.
Really?
Would you say? Tuesday's kind of like the downer. Look, people are saying, yep.
Okay,
yep.
so you want to hear my take on this?
What?
Okay, so
you're going to say like every day is a blessing.
Sometimes I'm pessimistic.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Sometimes I'm pessimistic, but I do feel like every day you wake up is a blessing, Gabby.
Look it. Is that your halo that's shining above you?
Every day you wake up is a blessing. But in fairness, I had a really good start to my morning. I'm back in the saddle. I worked out this morning.
Oh, good for you.
I'm in pain, but
with your trainer or Orange?
With my trainer today. Orange Theory tomorrow morning. So I'm going to do 4 days a week. That's all I can commit. Yeah, but
4 days is plenty.
Yeah, but wait till you see me this summer.
Oh. You just
Get ready for the thirst
You won't
traps.
even know it's her.
Get ready for the thirst traps. Okay, in all seriousness, we got to talk about what's coming up on our show because we have a really exciting show today. I really enjoyed Jake's story. I wanted him to stay on a little longer with us. I had so many follow-up
10 seconds
questions.
up to us coming back on camera, we were talking with him about just the happenings of how that all happened.
It's so amazing. Okay, but let's talk about what's coming up on the show. So we have a special program that we're going to highlight. This is all about some grandmotherly love for Chicago public school students. We're going to learn all about it through an organizer and also volunteers. And we're also taking you back in time. We're talking about to the 70s. This is with the local bar Good Night John Boy. We'll find out how you can have a nostalgic night out at a discount.
Have you been to this bar yet?
I have never been to this bar yet.
I have been to this bar. Actually, I went when it like almost first opened, and it's so cool. Actually, it's totally 70s vibe. The first time I went, it was like one of its first weekends open. I went with some girlfriends who were visiting, and so I had no expectation. It's totally decked out. Later, like a few months later, I went back, and because I saw some lights, like a disco ball upstairs, I'm like, oh, wait a second, like there's a whole club upstairs, because the bottom half is pretty low key. Anyways,
here's my question: are people dressing in 70s
I don't
attire
think so.
to kind of go with the thing?
I don't think so. I tried going one other time. The line was down the block.
Down the block. I could believe it because it's different. And also it's probably perfect for like Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and all the
I'll
places.
show you a pretty cute picture. Maybe I can send it to you guys and you guys can bring it up.
But first,
this
is really
did
exciting.
Did you ever want to do ballet growing up, or did you ever
I did
dance?
do ballet
You did?
growing up. I wasn't that great at it, but I did it.
I also tried. It was like actually a dream of mine because I had a neighbor who was a really good ballerina. Can I touch my toes?
Well, you know, me too. I always felt like my legs were so short. So that was part of my biggest issue is like, can I really go somewhere with this? I don't think I have the, I mean, look at me. I'm a little meaty to be a ballerina,
Look,
okay? So
we're just not built for it, okay?
No.
But one of the most widely recognized American ballerinas of all time is actually joining us right now. She's going to be bringing her award-winning program to Chicago for 2 special performances happening this week. Tyler Peck, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
This is so cool. Okay, for people who are all ears, they're wanting to know what's coming up this weekend. Can you explain your performance? What is this going to look like?
Yeah, I'm bringing the best dancers in different disciplines, so tap, ballet, contemporary, hip hop, and we'll be in a show called Turn It Out with Tyler Peck and Friends, and we're so excited to be bringing it to Chicago.
So I love this. You already had a sold-out premiere in New York City. Why do you think the show has gotten so much love and attention? I'm looking at the pictures. I kind of see why, but I want to get your opinion on this. Why do you think the show has been so successful?
I think it's a way that is making dance a bit more accessible. So if somebody doesn't typically go to just like a ballet performance, they can come and see, wow, I didn't know that this is what dance could be, just because it has so many different styles. So I think it's really more relatable to the audience. So whether you just love music, dance, it's really a show for you.
Okay, Tyler, you're obviously probably doing the scouting process for the show. How do you even pick from some of these dancers? I'm honestly amazed with any level of dance because
commitment,
athleticism that you have to have. I mean, even a simple spin is outrageous to me. But tell us about how are you picking these folks?
Well, there's some of my favorite dancers, the ones that inspire me the most. They're dancers from different companies, some from the company that I'm in, New York City Ballet. Others have run their own company. There's a dancer from So You Think You Can Dance on it. So it's just kind of accumulating, to me, the best dancers around the world.
You know, Tyler, when I think of ballet, I think of all the moms that I know right now that have their kids in ballet, and some of them have said, you know, it's just something for them to do. Talk about, you know, how you can actually make a career out of ballet, and it's not just a statement that a little girl may say, you know, you hear that, Mom, I want to be a ballerina, that it can really go beyond that.
Oh, I think dance is a beautiful way to express yourself. I always say it's like a universal language that everybody can understand. And I think that even if you don't want to be a professional ballerina, what dance teaches you, the discipline, the determination, carries over into any form of life. So I think if you want to dance and you do have a dream of being a dancer, the fact that I get to do what I love and call it work is pretty amazing.
I'd have to agree with you on that.
You know, you talked about how this has kind of helped making it accessible, I think is the words you used. You know, why do you say that? Because yes, there is kind of that stigma when it comes to ballet that you need to be super thin, you need to be a certain kind of build to be successful. Is that still the case? And also, yeah, what do you kind of mean by making it more accessible, having this type of performance?
Well, it's definitely still an aesthetic art form, so we are always trying to look our best, what we feel like are most secure in, and keep the body fine-tuned. But when I mean accessible, I mean not everybody gets to come to New York and experience a show in Lincoln Center. So to me, if I can make it seem more like it's within their reach and bring it to other cities, that's a really important thing for me.
You know, Tyler, I saw in some of the video that we have, I saw some tap dance in there. Chicago, a huge jazz and blues town. What do you think will resonate, at least in that particular part of the show, with Chicago audiences?
Oh, it's one of my favorite pieces on the program. It's called Time Spell. Right there, that's Michelle Dorrant. She's one of the best tap dancers in the world. And so for us to get to share the stage with her and learn from her, and also you'll see some of us on point. tapping with her. And that was just a huge challenge for me because growing up, that was not my strong suit. So this show's just kind of about pushing the limits and making it exciting for us and the audiences.
Obviously, it sounds like, Tyler, this is a show for all ages. Again, yeah, you are right. Bringing it to Chicago, maybe people don't have an opportunity to go to New York and see some of these things. That's such a good point. You know, what do you say to maybe families who are thinking about introducing dance or this kind of performance to their kids?
I definitely wouldn't miss it. I think you'll leave inspired. There's a great sense of joy and hope in the show, and I got a lot of that in New York when we did it. They were like, this is just what we need right now in our lives. So I think it's definitely something to come out and see for sure.
Now, Tyler, I'm looking at the dates. You're here for the show March 7th and also 8th. I want to ask you, have you been to Chicago before? And is there something that you must do or must enjoy when you come to Chicago, if you've been here before or if this is your first time, something that you're planning to do?
I've only been one time. I think it was called the Dancing Festival. I don't know if it still exists, but it was in an outdoor venue and there were thousands of people. It was one of the most exhilarating experiences. But sadly, most of the trips that I take, we're always working in the theater, so that's where I spend most of my time. I see the venue more than the city, but hopefully I can get a little sightseeing in, so I'll have to do my research to know exactly what to do.
All right, Tyler, your research is right here. You just email Tia and I, okay?
We'll tell you what to do.
We'll tell you what to do, okay?
I'll take you up on that.
I also have to ask, because you mentioned keeping your body in tune and stuff. Like, what kind of training are you doing as a ballerina, a dancer in general? Like, take us through your day. Like, what does this all entail?
So every day we have class at 10:30, and it's not mandatory, but I always take it because if you're wanting to fine tune, like I said, your body, you have to keep growing the technique. And you need a teacher in front of you so that you don't have to be the only eyes, trying to correct what you see is wrong in the mirror. And then they can rehearse us from 12 until 6 with an hour off for like lunch, and then the show that evening. And we do that every day but Monday. So it's hard work, I'm not gonna lie, but it's so worth it for me.
Wow, I thought you were going to say, you're waking up at 5 a.m. That's one workout. You got one at noon. I thought it would be more intense than that. I'm sure the diet, what you eat is part of it as well. Tyler, let me ask you, when did you start ballet? How old were you when you knew, this was the trajectory that you wanted your life to take?
I actually started when I was around 2 years old. My mother has a dance studio. She has for like 50 years. Wow. So she was my favorite. She was my favorite teacher, but also I didn't like ballet, which is what she taught. I just loved dancing. So I did do different kinds of dance forms. And it wasn't until I saw the New York City Ballet Nutcracker that I decided I want to be a ballerina. So that's what I mean by making something more accessible, like giving those kids or who's ever in the audience that moment that could be like, wow, I want to try that.
Yeah, very good point there.
That's such a good point. Yeah, I was even thinking this morning, people have such interesting talents, and how do you know you want to do that? Well, yeah, it's probably being exposed to it as a kid, maybe seeing a performance just like this one. How exciting. Tyler, where is the show going to be this weekend? What theater?
Oh, the auditorium.
Okay, awesome. The
Perfect.
Auditorium.
Where can people get tickets, Tyler, before we let you go?
I think I would go to the auditorium website. You can also go to my Instagram, and on the link in my bio, there's a link there for tickets.
Well, Tyler, you have done very well for yourself. Congratulations on your sold-out premiere in New York City, and we're hoping for the same here in the Windy City here in Chicago.
Thank you for having me, and can't wait to be there.
All right, perfect. Thank you for coming on. I'm just curious because you said people have a lot of talents, and sometimes all it takes is exposure. Was this what you always wanted to do, or did you want to do something else?
No, actually, I wanted to work for a magazine, and I wanted to work for like Teen Vogue, 17. I loved magazines growing up, obsessed with them, and then actually just going to school and taking a broadcast class. I was like, you know what?
I could do this.
I could do this. This seems like an okay path.
Interesting.
And the rest is history. I'm guessing you had some kind of origin story. I see it in your face. I
wanted
see it
to
all
do
over.
everything. I wanted to be a fighter pilot in the military. My mom said, absolutely not. You're not going to do that.
What made you want to be that?
I just saw it somewhere. I don't know. I saw it somewhere, and that was what I wanted to do. Then I met a lady while I was attending Chicago Public Schools who was a trader for the right here in Chicago. She would trade, you know, on the New York Stock Exchange and all of that. And I thought I wanted to do that, but math, some parts of math weren't my strong suit. That was out the window. And then I wanted to be a sports agent. And that's what I actually was in college for. And I met a lady that said, hey, do you need another job? And I was like, well, I'm kind of broke. Yeah, I need another job. So I ended up being a photographer at a TV station, and all the people on air were full of themselves. They all thought they were the show. And I'm like, how are they telling real people's stories when they're so stuck up and full of themselves? Like, we need people that are down to earth, that can relate to everybody, you know, the same. And I'll never forget, there was an anchor who will remain nameless who asked me to go wash her car. And I said, you know what? I got to take her job one day.
There's no way.
Yeah, I was working at a TV station. She said, can you go wash my car for me? I said, girl, I don't even wash my own car. I'm a college student.
You know, I will say, so I was,
No.
I was an intern here at Fox Chicago. And there was an anchor that will remain nameless, who isn't here anymore, who had me pretty much go get coffee for her every single day.
Every day?
Every day.
Oh, you gotta tell me that
She would give me
off-camera.
cash. She would give me cash, but every single day.
It's like, you know, and I just knew that it has to be people in this world who love people genuinely, who wake up in the morning, who want to tell everyday people stories, who treat the janitor like the CEO. And that's how I was raised. So I was like, well, where are they in the newsroom? And I really couldn't find them. So I said, well, you know what? I'm going to be one of those people. And so that's how I did it. Now, listen, had I been a sports agent, I would be super rich right now. Way more money in that job.
You know what? You can always do a little side gig.
But
I can't let you go.
I will say,
do a little side gig.
if you really love something, it's not about the money.
No,
you
it's
want to be paid fairly, but it's not about the money. And I think both of us can agree on this. When we wake up in the morning, my first thought is, who can I help today? That's my first thought when I wake up. Like, no matter whose story I'm going to tell, who can I help today? And so that's kind of how I live my life. But that's how I got into it, was an arrogant anchor that thought, you know, the sun would come up because she woke up.
Yeah,
so,
you know what?
No.
And you know what? I will say, it seems like, yes, that was kind of the case a while ago. A lot of the anchor that I knew.
Things have changed, I
when
think,
I would go and
dramatically.
shadow some TV stations and stuff. I'm telling you, that's a big misconception right now. I would say everyone in our newsroom actually here. And
Very
most of the people that I'm meeting, you know, from other stations or from other markets
Mm-hmm.
and such, there is no sense. Well, maybe for some people, but they're in cuckoo land. They're in cuckoo land because really this is like, it's a fun job. It's a hard job.
It is a hard
It's
job.
not a glamorous job, really.
It's not a
as much as
glamorous
you
job.
might think it is.
People are like, who did your makeup this morning? You're looking at the makeup artist.
Yeah, actually.
People comment on your hair. I don't like your hair today. Well, be mad at me because I'm the hairstylist this morning.
Yeah, I only had
You don't
10
like my
minutes,
dress?
sorry.
I'm the stylist for that too. So like, yeah, it's a lot more responsibility. It's not glamorous. You're absolutely right. But I take it with pride because honestly, if something happened and I didn't work here tomorrow, I would be just as enthused to wake up in the morning and tell your stories if it meant on YouTube solely or tell me their story. I'm like, really, that happened? Let me see if I can get some answers for you.
We need
I
more
love
people
it.
like you. So
I love
hopefully,
it. And you.
And you. But so
Take
hopefully
some
people
credit.
who are wanting to go into
Take some
journalism,
credit,
yeah,
Gabby.
of course.
Take some credit.
Hopefully people who are wanting to go into journalism know that it's not just, you know, being on TV whatsoever. The amount of stuff that we do behind the scenes, the amount of people who are working behind the scenes, I mean, it takes an entire army to do
It does.
this.
Now, I'm really like happy though that we met Tyler because the next time my daughter says, Mommy, I want to be a ballerina, I'm like, ugh. I don't diss it. Let's be clear. I'm not the mom that's like, get a life. But I'm thinking, can you make a career out of that? And I'm happy that we met somebody today who has made a career out of it. So anything is possible. Kids, do you want to be a ballerina?
It is a different kind of dedication.
Yeah.
Sports in general is a different kind of dedication.
Absolutely.
Okay, we have much more left in the show.
This is all about
You're
dedication,
gonna love this.
volunteering, and helping kids at the same time.
Oh, so cute. We were even teasing this on Good Day Chicago.
Grandparent Circle. We're going to talk about it coming up right after this break.
one brief visit.
Welcome back to Chicago Now, 11:20 on your Tuesday morning. This is a really exciting interview because it's really interesting. The Juvenile Protective Association is the first Chicago-based partner of the Grandmother Project, which is bringing local grandparents into CPS schools for weekly in-school sessions. It's meant to keep kids safe in a safe place. And we're learning more about it this morning with Erin Boone, Grandparent Circle Coordinator at GPA Chicago, and Carol Ann Bin, participating as a grandmother volunteer. Did I get your last name right? Is it Bin or Bean? Bain. Perfect. I'm happy that you cleared that up. Let's talk about this first. Start out with telling me what the Juvenile Protective Association even is.
Yes, so we are a social service organization, a nonprofit that was actually started by Jane Addams, so a very early social worker. So we've been around for, we're actually celebrating 120 years this year, our anniversary. And so it started off working with children and adolescents to help pad those protective factors, or actually probably create protective factors at a time where none existed. And the organization has since evolved since then. So working with the community, with the school systems, with mental health and social emotional components for students, youth, and community members.
Got it. Okay. Is this before school, after school? Sorry, Gabby.
So the program itself is during school, but not during academic or instruction hours. Our organization has a number of programs, including community counseling, but our specific program goes into the schools and works with middle school girls, building relationships with wonderful women like Carol Ann, and just working with them to learn from each other to bridge those intergenerational gaps.
How long have you guys been doing this? How many people actually volunteer to be a part of the Grandparent Circle too?
So I would love to have the problem of having too many volunteers, so we're always looking for volunteers. But our goal is to have minimally 2 volunteers per group. And this particular program has been around, this is 2026, so since 2023, I believe. So we're still fairly new in comparison to the other programs that JPA offers. But the program has been very well received by the students that participate, by the schools. And so we are in high demand, and we are seeking a number of volunteers to join us.
So Carol Ann, you're one of those volunteers. What made you sign up, and how did you even hear about the program?
I heard about it from a friend who happened to meet Erin, and I was looking for volunteer opportunities just as I was retiring, and it just really caught my attention. I remembered those middle school years, the difficulties and whatnot, and I just thought I wanted to get into public schools and meet girls and maybe, have some kind of role in their lives. And so Erin really has been great in showing me sort of how to do it, with great opportunities for the kids to do different things, and just to talk with the girls and bring myself to the girls. That's really what's the best part of it.
I'm just curious, like when you're meeting, what do you do during that meeting time?
What's the conversation like? Is there talking points? I mean,
do you do activities? Like, how does it work?
All of the above.
All of the above.
Right?
Okay.
So we like to call the program structured but unscripted. So we have activities, we have check-ins. The program usually runs, I would say, about 45 minutes or so. So it's usually a class period, but like I said, it's not an instruction period. So an advisory, a tutoring period, things like that, where the students may be involved in supportive services. And so they come in, they do a brief check-in to kind of gauge the mood for the day, so the volunteers know what they're getting, and also so the girls can actually feel heard. As, they want to be heard and seen and know that someone cares. Once they do the check-in, they get to determine if they want to do the activity for the day or if they want to talk, which we call circle talk, right, where they sit around. It's designed similar to restorative justice practices, where they get a talking piece similar to what's called a peace circle, but they actually get to just talk and share their thoughts, get things off of their chest, vent, and maybe things happening at the school that day or other things going on where they just want to talk it out and get feedback. So they get to choose which direction it goes in. After that, they complete the activity or their conversation, we have a snack, and then we kind of do a wrap up, and they're either dismissed for the day if it's at the end of the period, or they're dismissed back to their class if it's a lunch program.
So what can you see as the biggest benefit to this? Because I'm thinking of so many, right? Like you're talking to someone who has the wisdom, right? And it's someone other than your parents. Also, you kind of just need one person to really believe in you, and I think that can help you soar, help your confidence. But what would you say is one of the biggest benefits of doing this and signing up?
Oh, for the girls or for the volunteers?
For both. Why not?
For the girls, it's just what you said. A distance. You know, we're not in the family, and we're not the same age as the mom, right? So it's a little distance. We have some experience. They talk about something that, you know, they did in school, or that their mom said or something, and I can say, well, you know, when I was a kid, my mom said such and such, you know, and it really opens their eyes. Like, we've actually been through some of the same kinds of problems, but here we are, we survived. And it, you know, the kind of calm that we can bring with distance from our own life experiences, we can share with them, and they can see that that's something that eventually they will get to. So I think that's part of what's good for them. Plus what Aaron said, sometimes they just have things they want to get off their chest. You know, sometimes they just want to be silly. You know, it just depends what the day is. For me as a volunteer, I just didn't really expect to feel so connected to the girls. You know, when you're walking up to the school and they're on the playground and they're running up to say, oh, you're here today, that's great, you know, what are we gonna do? You know, things like that. And, you know, the quiet moments too, where they just say something and we're able to respond to that on a one-on-one. It's just really wonderful.
Yeah, I think sometimes for kids, I know at least me growing up in the city of Chicago and being a part of similar programs was just knowing somebody was going to show up, you know, consistently. Like, it wasn't just a one-off chance, and that you were invested in me. What would you say, I know you mentioned that you would like to have the problem of having too many volunteers, which makes me think you would love more volunteers. What are you looking for in volunteers?
Absolutely. So at this point, because we are the Grandmother Circle program, we are looking for women, female identifying persons that want to come in and just be interested in pouring into these girls, right? So we are not looking for you to be a biological grandmother. You don't even have to be a mother. We are looking for what we call a wise woman who has had life experience, professional experience, family experience, that wants to come in. Those types that are looked at maybe as the matriarchs of their family, who have the time and who have the passion to pour into these young girls. As Carol Ann said, the relationship building, that is the biggest component, right? So it's the accountability, it's the consistency, the girls looking forward to them coming every single week, because it is a weekly commitment for at least one school semester for 1 hour per week. So once you go through the volunteer process to sign up, then we assign you to a school, and we ask that you make at least a semester commitment or a school year commitment for 1 hour per week. And to watch it grow and blossom so organically, I think that's the most beneficial part of it, because these two different generations, they have preconceived notions about each other, and to come in and to actually realize, like, you might know of what you speak. You might have some experience, because a lot of times the younger generation thinks nobody understands them, you don't know. And I've run into, in speaking with our volunteers, they often have a fear that they won't be able to connect with the girls, and it has been the exact opposite experience.
You know, and that's what I was going to ask, because I could see maybe people being hesitant to sign up as a volunteer.
Absolutely.
Because, right, they maybe haven't worked in a decade, and they don't know, you know, what this is going to entail. It's a lot of pressure. What if they're not going to be able to connect with the girls? Would you say, hey, you know what, you could take your time, it's not as scary as you think?
Right, absolutely, that's exactly right. And it's just showing up, like I said earlier, as yourself. You know, you don't really have to bring skills or study up or anything like that. It's the things that your life experience taught you, and that's all you have to draw upon. And just be kind and listen and compassionate. You know, we're not there to tell the girls something. We're there to listen and sort of reflect and help them find their direction. So those are the only, if you want to call it skills, but it's life skills, really. And so I don't think it's a hard lift. It's the commitment, I think, that maybe more is a little, initially maybe of a concern, but what I found is that I want to go back. You know, it's not like oh, it's Thursday, you know. It's more like, yay, I get to go see the girls and see what happened in this last week. I remembered it was such and such's birthday, or this one had something going on. It's, you know, and it draws you in. It makes you want to be there.
I'm curious for volunteers that may be watching thinking, hey, I'm the next volunteer. What schools? Like how many? I know you mentioned some of the the amount of schools, but are we talking about on the south side, west side, north side? Is there a specific targeted area of where these schools are located?
I really think that you already have these answers. You know this information because again, it's key, all of the above. So right now we are across the city. So we have schools on the west side, on the south side, and on the north side right now. So that is who we are looking for. If you are spread out, if you are able to commute, if you would like to stay in your own community, we try to place our grandmothers based on not only availability but also proximity. So if we have a school that is close to your neighborhood where you currently live, ideally that's where we will place you, because the program started out with wanting women from the community to come in so that these girls could look at them and see themselves. They have a shared experience, they know the area, things like that, and we use that as a tool to connect. So now I would like to see women from all over. If you are able, if you live on the north side and you're able to travel south, or if you are bilingual, we really have a high demand right now for bilingual grandmothers. Specifically, I would like volunteers from everywhere, but we are in need of volunteers for the south side and for Humboldt Park.
Got it. Hey, good to know. Thank you for mentioning that. When you first brought up this program to some of these schools, what was their reaction? I mean, I think it's a lovely idea, but they're probably kind of surprised, right?
I think that they did not know what to expect, and so after explaining the program, I have not met with one school yet, no exaggeration, that has not said sign me up. And so we actually have, I don't want to say a wait list, but we have a high demand of schools that are very interested. And again, it's making sure that we have the volunteers, because we have the schools, we have the girls, we have the resources. All we need are the women.
I would think that with this comes some change in some of the students. And when I say that, I mean like an evolution, right? Like you've 100%. Evolved in different areas of your life by having these women there. What has been some of the response from the school on how some of these students have changed for the better?
We actually have administrators and what's called the BHT, the behavioral health teams, those members that come to us and talk with us about different girls that they want to identify to participate, right? Because they are noticing a change in their ability to relate, the social emotional component of things. Even we've had a couple of schools where they've seen an increase in attendance, right? Even if it's only on the day that the program is held. I remember last school year I had a girl tell me, I wasn't going to come to school today, but I remember we had grandmothers and so I'm here, right? So that just shows that, again, that it's not a hard sell. The buy-in is being authentic and genuine and consistent, really having an interest in what these girls have to say and who they are. Even if it's only for that 45 minutes once a week, it makes a huge impact.
Yeah, I think it's a huge deal, because I think people forget that even parents, like some parents are focused on their phone. If you have multiple children, you got to raise everybody in the household. So sometimes maybe this one child that needs a little more attention doesn't always get it.
And you could be that one person for that kid.
Yeah.
Caroline, can I put you on the spot just for a second? We're running out of time, but is there one message that you go in with this experience that you really want to, you know, portray to the kids, like to the girls? Is there one thing that you really want to take away? Maybe it's, you know, be a kinder person, or maybe it's, you know, seek out help if you need it. Is there one thing that you kind of always try to get through to them?
There's nothing in particular, because each child is different. Some have strengths in some ways and others don't. For me, it's really to look at the girls individually and try to understand what their strengths and weaknesses are and help draw them out. And that's been happening. I've been with the same girls now all of last year and now through this year. And there are differences, marked differences, where they're more able to get, you know, to articulate what is on their minds, to get in touch with what their feelings are. So each one is its own accomplishment, I guess I would say.
I'm happy that you're there. I'm happy that you're doing it.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for doing it.
It's a beautiful relationship, and I'm glad that more people are getting to experience it.
How can the volunteers sign up?
Absolutely. So you can go to our website, jpachicago.org, and you will see in our menu that there's a Grandparents Project tab. Once they sign up, there's also an interest form that they can fill out. And when I get the interest form, we go through, give you a phone call, talk a little bit more to see if we have a placement for you right now. Some people, it works right away. Other people may want to wait until the following school year. But we hope to get as many genuinely interested people as possible to make these connections, because Carolyn is growing with the program. That is the goal for all of our volunteers, to follow these girls from 6th grade through 8th grade and be another consistent person in their life.
I love it.
Thank you guys for coming in. This is such a great message, and I hope all of you at home really consider, or at least spread the word. All right, we'll be right back after this break.
On Fox.
Welcome back to Chicago Now. 11:37. We are just chugging along with this show because there's so much interesting stuff. All right, we have a new guest joining us, Ramsey Ajawi, operating partner. Have you heard about Goodnight John Boy in the West Loop?
Well, I mean, you told me about it.
Okay.
I knew about it, but I haven't been. I got to get there.
People who are watching us, please take the trip because it is very interesting. 1970s nostalgia, that's what I'm going to say. Thank you for joining us. You're an operating partner with the bar. I mean, look at these pictures. It is so fun. For people who haven't been or haven't heard about it, what's the whole vibe?
Okay, so 70s is the vibe. So we're a 70s themed disco, restaurant, cocktail lounge, nightclub, all the above. So on our first floor, we have a really nice kind of dimly lit cocktail lounge where you can get all the classics, like think martini, classics from the 70s though too, like a Grasshopper, Harvey Wallbanger, and then upstairs you'll see we have our disco where kind of all the fun actually happens.
I wish you would have brought some of these drinks.
I know.
I'm ready to drink. It's 1 o'clock somewhere.
I got a little something back there for you for after.
No, so I have this question in all seriousness because when I look at your face, it's very clear to me you were not born in the 70s.
No.
Right. So how in the heck did you find yourself even being immersed in this particular venue?
Right. So, so we actually started in Cleveland, Ohio. And I worked a 9 to 5, and I was honestly just kind of bored. And so I picked up a bartending gig at this new place that opened up in town called Goodnight John Boy.
I do know about it. I lived in Cleveland.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I know about it.
That's so funny. Yeah. So anyway, started there, worked the very first shift there, and I was like, this is so cool. This is so fun. Immediately bought a bunch of 70s gear and just like immerse myself in it, honestly. And on the weekends, I would work there. One day, one of the owners, who was Chicago-based, came to town, waited on him, and he liked me and was like, "Want to move to Chicago?" I'm like, "Sure." And one thing led to another, and here I am.
And I mean, so when did you guys open the West Loop location?
When?
Yeah.
July of 23.
July 23. Okay, yeah. So it was one of the first weekends that you guys opened. I went with some friends, super fun.
Oh, really?
And then every time I'm going, I'm realizing that you guys have more stuff. So then I realized that you guys have the upstairs area, and that's banging. The last time I wasn't able to get in because I came late to the party. It is super popular. Really, what I'm trying to get at is that, of course, we see people of all ages, but mostly like Gen Zers are going.
Yeah.
What is it with like the 70s vibe that makes it so attractive?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just like, because it's so fun. You know, you go to nightclubs and bars and you're kind of met with the same thing everywhere, right? It's just kind of it's getting kind of stale. And so we offer something that's not really seen anywhere else in the city. And we're often the only disco in all the cities that we open in. So it's something new, it's something fun. It's colors, it's colorful, it's fun. It's not just you're in a dark room and you get the same like, you know, we have fun music. You know, you're in a party.
And I think it almost creates like a safer environment.
For sure.
Because the 70s is so much love. Like nobody's gonna punch you because you may have stepped on their shoe. I want to ask you because you said it's true though.
No, I know.
I think because of the vibes of the 70s. I wanted to ask you because it has been so successful. Have you considered eyeing another location to open up?
Sure. I mean, yeah, so honestly, our eyes are all kind of set on Florida. We have 2 in Florida currently, St. Pete and Delray Beach, and they are the most successful. I mean, we open it and they flock. It's crazy. So I think the company's eyes are kind of set on Florida. I'm not 100%, but we are definitely, you know, expanding further, you know, so yeah.
I know that do you guys have different DJs coming in too? Like what does the entertainment look like? Or how do you mix things up and keep it, you know, like you said, not so stale?
Right, yeah. We do have a variety of DJs and they come from all over the country. We do have resident DJs here, but you know, it's kind of hard to find DJs that are down to just do the disco 70s vibe. You know, a lot of them like won't want to play that type of music. You know, you think like your John Summits and all that. That's kind of who everyone's trying to be right now. So it's hard to kind of find the talent that's like die-hard disco. So when we do find them, you know, we invite them in and they've never seen a place like John Boy before. So they're always so excited to play.
Do you feel like your customers are repeat? And do you have a lot of people that they're like, okay, this is a destination now that we're in Chicago to visit. This is a destination hub?
For sure. It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
Like we definitely get people who have seen us online and then they come in 70s gear all decked out, which is great. That's my favorite. I love when they come like dressed and ready to go. But then we also get like, kind of like you said earlier, a lot of those like Gen Zers that are just like out partying for the night who come by, and you know, we definitely have regulars for sure. But I mean, every time we're open, I'm always seeing new faces in there all the time, which is great. I want people to come out and see it.
I love it.
Yeah.
And you know, the West Loop is so popular right now. How have you seen things change? Because I kind of felt like, oh, correct me if I'm wrong, right? I also go to bed super early. But at first it was like, you know, like it was you could get in pretty much. Now it's like a line I see halfway down the block almost every Friday, Saturday night, maybe even Thursday. I don't know.
The popularity has grown.
It has, and like so, like what stinks is like the venue is not that big. So you know, I try to get everybody in as much as I can, but you know, we have to keep it safe and whatnot inside. You know, got to keep the capacity in order and stuff. You know, it's definitely a challenge because you know, you want to please everyone, you want to get everyone inside. And you know, a lot of people, like you said, like might not be able to get in that night just because it's so busy. But you know, we do offer a line skip option, so that's always an option. You know, people often find out who I am and get on a text with me or whatever. And
that's what we're gonna do.
That would be
nice. I'll give you guys my card.
That would have been nice.
After, no, for sure, I got you after. But like, it's so funny. Like one time, I was outside and with the door hosts, and this group came in. They're like, yeah, we're with Ramsey tonight. And I was like, oh, you guys must be close then if you're coming in or whatever. They didn't know that they were talking.
They were talking to Ramsey.
Funny. Yeah, it was so funny.
What would you tell someone that has never been before of why they should consider coming?
It's just kind of like I said before, it's not your usual nightlife experience. It's really positive. The energy is vibrant, it's fun, it's inclusive. It's not like what other nightclubs are, and we pride ourselves on that. It's you're gonna come, you're gonna have a great time, you're gonna dance, which is something that you don't see at a lot of clubs these days.
Yeah, everybody stands around just staring at each other.
Boring.
Very boring.
Yeah. So you're gonna dance, you're gonna have fun, you're gonna meet someone cool. The drinks are great, the food is great. Shout out to Chef. You guys will definitely have to come in and
The
try it
disco ball is
sometime.
great too.
The
Where does the name Goodnight John Boy come from? Is it an ode to a TV show? Do you know?
Yeah, the Waltons.
Yes.
I never watched it, but yeah.
Neither have
It
I.
predates you. That's why.
Neither have I.
Yeah, it's the
Predates
Waltons. At the end, they all say goodnight to each other, and one of them, I guess, is John Boy.
Yeah. Good night, John Boy.
Good night, John
That's what
Boy.
happens.
So they're all saying goodnight, and then good night, John Boy. And actually, the guy who played John Boy, he still acts these days, I guess. And when I was in Cleveland, he was in Cleveland for a show, and he came in.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so wow.
That is cool.
There's probably people at home who are literally shaking their TV screen saying, how do you not know this?
I know.
Well, at least one of us knew. Don't come writing us. I got one question for you, Ramsey.
Yeah.
Is there a 70s dance that you learned that you did not know before? Everybody knows that one. That you didn't know before you got into this? That now you know it?
The double dog.
What you
See,
got?
I don't even know that one.
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know.
got anything?
I do that one. You know, we do the Macarena a lot. I'm really not.
Dun,
I'm so embarrassed.
dun, Macarena. I haven't done that in so long. That almost
Yeah.
feels,
That one's
man,
good.
historic.
What's your favorite 70s song?
I'm
putting you on
the spot.
on the spot.
Gosh.
Do you even know one 70s song? Because I know. I'm going to be honest with you.
Like, you know, Gimme Gimme by ABBA is a great one.
Yeah, that's a
That
good
one's good. Oh my gosh, I have so many, and like, now I'm on
that
the
always
spot, I'm
happens
like,
to me, so I'm not mad that you can't remember. Because
I'm mad, Ramsey.
Yeah.
I'm
sorry.
No, you're not.
Okay, well,
You know
come
what?
to John
Matter of
Boy.
fact, I think I'm going to skip the line next time.
Yeah,
and
I
can
got
make it
you
up
for
me.
sure.
What time do you open? What
So,
days?
on Thursday, 5 o'clock every day except for Saturday, we open at 4.
Okay.
But the upstairs disco part opens up at 8 o'clock. But the lounge is open at 5.
I need a picture like that.
Yeah, me too. I don't know if we'll look quite like that, Gabby.
No, it's so beautiful in there.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on. This was fun.
This was
Next
fun.
time we got to dance out. We got to dance out
for
of it.
sure. I'm gonna bring you guys some fun stuff next time.
Cue the 70s music.
All right, stay with us. We'll be right back.
For most
Welcome back to Chicago Now. That would be the jingle if we had one. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Okay, we got to talk about some stuff that's trending, and this one had social media just all caught up. You know, a lot of people like McDonald's, and then the CEO went on there and talked about this new sandwich, and people are like, how are you the CEO? You don't even look like you like McDonald's. Let's cue the product, as he called it. Let's cue the video for the product.
That's Burger King.
All right, the moment of truth. That is so good. That's a big bite for a big arch. It's distinctively McDonald's. Only McDonald's could do this type of burger, but it also is unlike anything else on our menu. It's a delicious product.
Product is what a lot of people were stuck on. Like, let's call it a burger.
But he also just called that a big bite, and that's probably the smallest bite I've ever seen
on such a big sandwich. This is Burger King CEO right there. Yeah. A lot of people were questioning, like, okay, the bite. They said it was a little nibble, and that it really looked like he didn't like it. But I think, can I be honest here? And please, people, don't take this wrong. I think sometimes people are just socially awkward if they're not used to being on camera. And I personally think that is what you're getting here. I think you're getting someone who is a smart person, right? They're in the realm of obviously running a big corporation like McDonald's. And so I think what you're looking at is somebody that is a smart person who's not used to being on camera and looked socially awkward to begin with. Before he ever took the bite, he gave me socially awkward in some ways, you know, and maybe not socially awkward, but uncomfortable with being on camera. So I don't know whose idea that was to put him on camera. Maybe they should have thought about it.
Maybe you should have done a couple of takes. Now, Burger King guy, he's charismatic, I would say.
Yeah, and real, you know, like not
and real. But also, they didn't set him up with like, okay, here's, you know, the entire meal right in front of you. We just want to get your live reaction. That's like he's in the kitchen.
I would like to bite the product.
Yeah. Poor guy.
It was just very robotic. Like, I think that what you're seeing is just a difference in personality and, you know.
And circumstances.
It is what it is.
And where they actually like put them to try the product.
I think it's two different people though, because you've seen even in our career field, right, where you can report a story, another person can report a story, and you report it differently because you're different. I think these are two different people. One is clearly a little awkward, and you're getting awkward. That bite was like, honestly, that's like a baby bite.
But that big arch does look good.
It does. It does look good, but he wasn't eating it like it was good.
Can we get the details for the big arch?
But that video of the Burger King CEO, this is what makes that interesting. So the Burger King reposted a video of its own CEO trying the new Whopper, and you see him taking a big bite. So they're basically taking a big jab at McDonald's is what they're doing.
But, you know, Burger King stands.
He look happy.
Reacting.
It's the flame grill, too. Ooh,
you know what?
I could go for either one of them.
I am starving right now.
With some fries.
I hadn't seen the video yet. That was my first time seeing the video of the McDonald's CEO, and I thought, well, maybe this guy's super healthy, like an actual freak.
I thought that too.
Because sure, you know, you're representing the company doesn't mean that you're eating the product every single day.
Why are you saying product? Nobody says that.
Because
the burger.
You know what? I'm just trying to stay in line with McDonald's.
Don't you think that's weird, though, to call it the product? So is it real? I mean, he made it sound like it's not even a real thing. The product.
The product.
I think it's CEO talk. That's what I'm saying. I think it's a smart person.
And I probably say that
awkward.
because I am kind of like a CEO kind of person. That's
there you go. Makes sense. Probably, yeah. So are you saying you're socially awkward?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Note to self.
I'm starving. Okay. My stomach just growled, and I'm
Mine
surprised
growled
that
too.
actually the microphone didn't pick it up.
Mine growled during one of our interviews, and it was loud. And I was like, I hope they don't think I'm burping. And
we only have a few minutes left, and I want to get
Go ahead, we gotta get to this.
I have a feeling that you're going to have an interesting reaction to this one. Okay, so a child pretty much wouldn't stop kicking an airplane seat, and someone had a reaction to it. So a woman went on social media, and she was flying from London to Istanbul, so probably a longer flight in business class. She was sitting there trying to get through the flight. There was a kid behind her who wouldn't stop kicking her seat, okay?
I had that with an adult happen one time.
There's a point where she's like, I've had enough. You know, she's looking back and she says that she saw the parents were sitting back there, the boy, not paying attention to the boy, he was scrolling, the parents were scrolling on their phone, not even paying attention. Well, instead of calling the flight attendant, she turned around and she said, I quote, "You're going to need to move your child or switch seats because I'm not going to allow him to kick my seat nonstop."
Facts.
And she said she was expecting pushback, right?
What happened?
The parent to go after her. Well, actually, the parent was like, you know what? I'm sorry, apologize, switch seats with the boy.
Good.
Switch seats.
Good.
And problem solved. There wasn't a whole like interaction, a whole like Kim getting defensive about the kid kicking the seat for a reason.
Good parenting.
That's what I can't stand.
To an extent.
This is awesome because there's too many times where people get so defensive about what their kid's doing. You know, like I would be the person too. I would be let me be the first person to tell my kid that they're in the wrong.
I think number one problem here, the parent was scrolling.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't know what was going on.
And they're embarrassed.
And secondly, if you're going to have your kid on a flight, I don't know how long that flight is, but if you are going to have your kid on any flight, you should bring them something to do. That sounds like a kid that was bored, had nothing to do. And so as a result, they're just kicking the seat.
Although, no, I've seen kids like
You've
have
seen
an
them still do it?
iPad and go like this.
You're not kicking my seat. I had an adult do that and then had the nerve to have their shoes off. And I told them, I said, it didn't matter what seat I was sitting in. I don't care if I was sitting at the back of the plane. You will not be kicking this seat this whole flight. It's just rude. Like, have some sense of others. Like, have some awareness of other people sitting around you. That's not asking for much.
Also pay attention to what your kids are doing. Like, what kind of behavior
And
are they
adults.
teaching? And adults, yes.
I've had more adults kick my seat than kids.
See, and I can't say that I've had many kids, although I was just on a flight actually not too long ago where right behind the guy I was sitting next to, I was in the middle, and this guy, he was taking up all the arm room he possibly could. I'm like, bro, you have the window, like lean on the window side. Anyway, he had the kid behind him. Yeah, he had the kid behind him kicking his seat. Every so often I could kind of hear it. And finally he looked behind him. He's like, why won't this kid just stop kicking my seat? And the poor grandma also didn't make a reaction, but probably because she doesn't live in this current world where kind of outraged gives you a little bit of power. You know, people kind of get rewarded for outrage.
We just need a little bit more etiquette in the world. That's not asking for much. When somebody holds the door, you say thank you.
This is an okay situation.
Don't kick somebody's seat. How about just common sense? Somebody, says good morning, you say it back. Simple things.
Teach your kids to make eye contact with,
Yeah, not like, okay, look right at the person.
Hello.
Get off the phone. Pay attention. Be aware.
Anyways, do I have any kids? No, I don't. Honestly, when I first
You're
read
going to
this,
be a good mom, though. I got the feeling.
But, the first time I read this, I was like, okay, it's going to end with a full blow up and
I'm happy the parent did right.
They're going to have to land the plane, etc. All right.
Good job. Good job, Dad.
That's our trending topics.
All right, stay with us tomorrow because we'll be back. It'll be hump day. We're just sailing on through the work week. Stay safe, and we'll see you later.
Attention.